friends. In last few lectures, we have discussed about estimation, type of estimation, valuation, types of valuation, tendering process. Now, in this lecture, we are going to discuss about contracts and its types. Myself, R.V. Zugdar, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering. First of all, we will see what is contract. The term contract is defined as an agreement between two or more parties which has a binding by law. In essence or in short, the agreement with legal enforceability is said to be contract. It creates and defines the duties and obligation of the parties involved in contract. And foremost, an offer is made by one party to another, which, when accepted by the party to whom is made, leads to the agreement. If the agreement is enforceable in the court of law, it is known as contract. The following figure shows the process of contract. The process of contract starts from the phase of offer or proposal for contract. The second phase is acceptance. The offer can be given in the form of tender, which we have discussed in earlier lecture. The acceptance is given by contractor for that particular tender by bidding. The next phase is agreement. The fourth phase for contract is legal enforceability or terms and conditions. And last step of contract is finalization of contract. The following figure shows the essential elements of contract, in which agreement, free consent, competency of parties, consideration, lawful objects, and not declared void elements are discussed follows. Essentials of contract. First essential is agreement. The preliminary element that creates a contract between parties is an agreement, which is a result of offer and acceptance that forms consideration for the parties concerned. The next essential element of contract is free consent. Consent of the parties is another important aspect of contract, which means the parties entering into the contract must agree upon the same thing in the same sense. The consent of parties is said to be free when it is not influenced by correction, undue influence, fraud, mispresentation, or any mistakes. The third element for contract is competency. It refers to the capacity of the parties to enter into the contract. That is, he or she has reached the age of maturity. He or she must be sound by mind, and he or she is not disqualified from contracting as per the law, like the alien enemy, foreign sovereigns, etc. Means for any contract signing, both parties should be having the age of maturity, that is more than 21 years by law. Fourth essential element of contract is consideration. It implies the price agreed to be paid for the promiser's obligation by the promisee. It must be adequate and lawful. The fifth essential element of contract is lawful object. The object for which the contract is created must be lawful, or else it is declared as void. Means The object for the project or contract should be lawful and it should not be void in any case. The sixth essential element of contract is not expressly declared as void. The law should not expressly declare the contract as void, such as contract in restraint of marriage, trade, or legal proceedings. Other few important elements of the contract are there must be at least two parties to constitute a contract, that is, one who proposes and other party accepts the same. Second element is the party entering into the contract must intend to create a legal obligation for one another. The third element is it must be in writing. No any verbal communication or any other type of communication is taken granted for valid contract. The fourth element for contract is there must be certainty of meaning. The terms of parties must be clear to the parties, that is, the parties should not interpret anything wrong. There must be consensus ad items. The next element is there should be possibility of performing the contract, and the last element for the contract is the some paramount elements of the contract without which it cannot be enforced in the court of law. Following are the types of contract. This flowchart shows various types of contract. On the basis of validity, there are various types such as valid contract, void contract, voidable contract, illegal contract, and unenforceable contract. On basis of formation, there are three types of contract: express contract, implied contract, and quasi contracts. On basis of performance, there are again two types: executed types of contract and executory contracts. Executory contracts are further divided into two types, that is, unilateral contracts and bilateral contracts. On the basis of validity, valid contract is an agreement which is enforceable by law. It is valid contract. The valid contract, as discussed in the topic of essential of contract, is an agreement that is legally binding and enforceable by law. It must qualify all the essentials of the contract which we have discussed earlier. What is void contract? The contract which is no longer enforceable in the court of law is a void one. In Section 2J of Contract Documents or Contracting Act of the Indian Contract Act 1872 defines a void contract as a contract which ceases to be enforceable by law, becomes void when it ceases to be enforceable. This makes all those contracts that are not enforceable by court of law as void. We have already stated examples of these kinds of contracts in the essential of contracts. Example for void contract: A person agrees to pay B person a sum of 10,000 after 5 years against a loan of rupees 8,000. A dies because of natural causes in 4 years. The contract is no longer valid and becomes void due to non enforceability of the agreed terms. Since it is only done by verbal communication, it is not valid type of contract and there is no any binding by law. Therefore, it is void contract. The third type of contract is voidable contract. contract in which one of the parties to the contract has a choice to avoid performing his her part, then it is termed as voidable contract. When the consent of party is not free, the contract becomes voidable at the option of aggressive party. There is some differentiation in between void contract and voidable contract, since both contract are in the same line but having some kind of fade line in between that. We have to study the bifurcation or differentiation between these two contracts. First, void contract is the contract which ceases to be enforceable by law, becomes void when it ceases to be enforceable. Whereas voidable contract is agreement which is enforceable by law at the option of one or more of the parties there to be, but not at the option of the other or others, is the voidable contract. The void contract becomes void if either it lacks the essential elements, the law changes drastically, or the terms of the contract changes such that it is no longer possible to enforce the contract in the court or law. A contract becomes a voidable contract when at least one of the parties reserves its consent, or the consent of one of the parties was not free at the time of the formation of contract. The void contract can't be fulfilled, whereas the validity and enforceability of voidable contract depend on the choice of the unbound party. If the unbound party decides to repudiate the contract, it becomes void. The void contract type can't grant any rights or consideration to any of the involved parties, whereas voidable contract, the right to rescind the voidable contract is retained by the unbound party. These type of contracts are defined in section 2 of the Indian Contract Act 1982. An agreement which is enforceable by law at the option of one or more of the parties thereto, but not at the option of the other or others, is a voidable contract. This may seem difficult to wrap your head around, but consider following example. Suppose a person A agrees to pay sum of rupees 1 lakh to a person B for an antique chair. This contract would be valid. The only problem is that person B is a minor and can't legally enter the contract. So this contract is a valid contract from the point of view of A, and is a voidable contract from the point of view of person B. As and when B becomes a major, he may or may not agree to the terms. Thus, this is voidable contract. The next type on validity of contract is illegal contract. A contract which is forbidden by law is termed as illegal contract. An agreement that leads to one or all the parties breaking a law or not conforming to the norms of society is deemed to be illegal by the court. A contract opposed to public policy is also illegal. Several examples may be cited to illustrate the illegal contract. For example, the person A agrees to sell narcotics to B. Although this contract has all the essential elements of valid contract, still it is illegal contract because there is no any lawful points in between that two persons. The next is unenforceable contract. The contract whose substance is good but due to some issue it is not enforceable. It is called as unenforceable contract. Unenforceable contracts are rendered unenforceable by law due to some technical problems. The contract can't be enforced against any of the two parties. For example, if person A agrees to sell B person 100 kgs of rice for 10,000 rupees, but there was a huge flood in the state and all the rice crops were destroyed. Now this contract is unenforced and cannot be enforced against either party. On the basis of formation, there are various types or three types of contract, such as express contract. When the terms of contract are expressed orally or in writing, it is known as express contract. Promises express and implied. In so far as the proposal or acceptance of any promise is made in words, the promise is said to be express. For example, consider the following example. A person A sends a text from his phone to the person B proposing to sell their bike for cost of rupees 10,000. The person B calls the first person and agrees to the terms of and promises. This is an express contract as terms have been started stated clearly in oral as well as in written form. Note that the communication could be entirely oral or in written. The next type is implied contract. The contract which is constituted by implication of law or action is an implied one. Going by the definition, we can say that a contract in which the terms of the agreement are not expressed in a written or oral form is an implied contract. Let us see the example for implied contracts. If you board a rickshaw and the driver started to drive, you tell the driver the address where he has to drop you. The driver stops and you pay him. There is no any legal binding, no any type of written document or no any type of verbal type of promises, but there is communication and whatever you want or whatever person A want, the supply is done by other person. This is called as implied contract. The third type is quasi contract. These are not a real contract but are identical to the contract which is formed out of some circumstances. They are not contracts in the sense that no agreements are made between any of the parties. In fact, there is no contract prior to the some court order. Let us first see an example and then we will get the clear idea what is meaning of quasi contract. A bank mistakenly transfers a large amount of money into your account. Now there is no any written or oral or any sort of agreement in between two parties, but the money doesn't belongs to the person in which account it is deposited. You will have to return the money even if you don't want to. The bank will approach the court and the court will issue an order to return the money, which is becoming a quasi contract. Means by mistake, if any amount is transferred to your bank, you are not owner for that particular money and you have to return even if there is no any agreement in between bank and you or the lender and you. Consider this example. You have a yard and you commission a person to build a small door for your car. You come home one day to find out that the mason has made a big door which is very expensive. At the same time, very good for value of your property. Now, what would happen if you both approach to the court? Means, suppose any contractor or any labor person or mason by mistakenly done any wrong work in your building, and because of that wrong work the value of property got increased. In that case, if he will go to court or you will go to court, the court usually enforce what is known as quantum merit, which means as much as is deserved. Since the work was done also increase the value of your property, it would be immoral if the worker doesn't get paid for the extra work and materials. The payment might be lesser than the normal cost, but the quantum merit will apply. This is quasi contract. Means for any additional work or extra work which will increase the value of your property, you have to pay. You have to pay for that particular work even if it is not agreed in your contract. On the basis of performance, the contract is classified into following types. Executed contract. When the contract is performed, it is known as executed contract. A contract between two or more parties is said to be executed when the act or in forbearance promised in the contract has been performed by one, both, or both the parties. Basically, it means that whatever the contract stipulated has been carried out. Thus, the contract has been executed. Let us see the example for the executed contract. The contractor goes to the local hardware shop and buys a material he needs. The trader sells his product in exchange of cash payment. So, it can be said that this is an executed contract. Both parties have done their part of what the contract stipulates. Means it is give and take type of contract. The one needs some material and other needs money for that. This is executed contract. Second type is executory contract. When the obligation in a contract is to be performed in future, it is described as an executory contract. In the executory contract, the consideration is either the promise of performance or an obligation. In such contracts, the consideration can only be performed sometimes in the future, hence, the name executory contract is there. Here, the promises of consideration simply cannot be performed immediately. The best example for executory contract is lease. All the conditions of lease cannot be fulfilled immediately. They are performed over time. Similarly, say person Alex decided to tutor some students in physics. They pay back rupees 2500 at the start of month. But here a contract isn't executed since Alex has to still carry out her promise. So, such a contract is the executory contract. Unilateral contract. As the name suggests, these are one-sided contracts. It is usually comes into existence when only one party makes a promise which is open and available to anyone who wishes to can fulfill the said promises. The contract will only be fulfilled once someone fulfills the promise. Let us see the example for a unilateral contract. One lost his bag on the metro, so he decided to announce a reward of 1000 rupees if anyone finds and returns his bag with all its contents. Here, the the is only one party to the contract. If someone finds the returns and returns his bag, he is obligated to pay the reward. This is unilateral contract. Means in this type of contract, the decision or any conditions are decided by only one party, and according to that he will take the action on the contract. Bilateral contract. To sum up, agreements are termed as contract if it comprises all the essential elements that constitutes a contract. By contrast, a bilateral contract is one that has two parties. It is traditional type of contract most commonly known as and occurring. Here both parties agree to the terms of the agreement and thus enter into the contract. Hence, it is also known as a reciprocal contract. In bilateral contracts, both parties have usually agreed to the time frame to carry out the said contract. Say, for example, the contract of sale of house, the buyer pays a down payment and agrees to pay a balance at future dates. The seller gives possession of the house to the buyer and agrees to deliver the title against the specified sale price. This is bilateral contract. Now, in this lecture, we have discussed about various types of contracts according to their purposes, and in further lectures, we will discuss another types of contracts which are used in construction industry. Thank you.